What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome you back to more Pokemon Legends Arceus. In the last episode, we finally made it to the Grand Tree Arena, and we met up with Leon, had a little battle with him. And, oh yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff happened along the way that I should probably draw your attention to. So we actually had Hubert evolve into a Sylveon, which is pretty great, as well as Viola into Leafeon. So we now have our two EVs both evolved, which is pretty great. We also got this, Darko, and yes, I named him Darko because, well, how could I not? It's like a perfect name. Darko's a pink bunny. We got ourselves a shiny Baneri, and considering Darko is only sitting at a meager level 13, I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to actually use the Experience Candy L we grabbed from a satchel a couple of episodes ago. So let me show you exactly how much experience an L gives you. I'll tell you what, right now, it's a lot more than pretty much any rare candy in the game is ever going to do until you start to get in the really high levels. Look at that. We just got 10 levels out of that single experience candy. Mastered multiple moves and got ideas for multiple moves. Okay, so Darko is now the strongest member of our team, which is pretty great. Let's see. Increase the damage dealt by its movement by 50%. That actually could be nice. I'm going to get rid of Baby Doll Eyes there. We'll have to do some work on his actual moveset once we get back to town. But we're supposed to talk to Professor Laventon. And actually, I have 59 tasks with unreported data. Since we only need 520 points to get to the next rank, do you think that's enough? Yeah, it's enough. All right, let's talk to Professor. Good to see you, Akari. And how is your research in Kleavor going? Swimmingly, I expect. Oh ho, is that so? Now that's quite the tidbit. So a serving of his favorite foods will normally make Kleavor quite agreeable, is that it? I need to mull this over back at the laboratory. You should come along too, dear girl. And there it is. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we got a frickin' shiny. I still can't believe that. All right, pretty good money from that. That is by far our best expedition yet in terms of how lucrative it was. Do you think it's enough for a 2-star? Let's see. Okay, we actually finished out a few. In fact, we actually finished out Starly's entry, which is great. So we can actually report back to that one woman. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, look at that. Wow, good stuff, good stuff. I'm going to have to go through a couple of these. In fact, I should now. So actually using Baby Doll Eyes on Sylveon is one of those, as well as Fairy Wind. So that's interesting. For Leafeon, it's Leaf Blade and Agile style moves. Okay, good to know. So we'll just go with that. We've gotten 2 stars, and now we can report back to Captain Silene and see if we can get something cool out of that. I do believe we unlocked the ability to get super potions for this next rank. So according to the information you were able to learn from Irida and Leon of the Pearl Clan, were this the normal course of events, that frenzied Kleavor would be calmed by a nice serving of his 2 favorite foods. I do wonder, is it possible that the aromas of some other components of these foods might combine in a way that could not only calm Kleavor, but draw him back from his frenzy? But by your own report, even Kleavor's warden, who looks after Kleavor and knows him well, cannot approach him in his current state. It would be a fool's gambit to get close enough to offer him food. All right, I'm just gonna, I want to point something out here because this is something that has always driven me nuts. It applies to this game. It applies to every Pokemon game, and it works better in the earlier RPGs where everything is made of pixels. But you ever notice how that the way that that Game Freak writes character dialogue, they don't talk like people. They talk like, well, they talk like exposition in a book, essentially. Eureka, by the way. They talk like exposition in a book. They're basically just trying to convey information across, and they don't actually have any sort of inflection in the way that they speak. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon does not have this problem, but most of the Pokemon series games do, and this is especially a problem with the later games. I know a lot of people complain about like animations and graphics and things like that. This is actually my biggest gripe of any gripes I have with the later Pokemon games. It's the way that the characters are written. It's just the way they talk. It doesn't make any logistical sense. Like, nobody would talk like this. It's got like, it's kind of like how I would almost imagine a computer would try to write a character. Even if you're trying to convey like, oh, it's the 19th century, it doesn't really work this way because they're using too many words. They're what's the word for it? It's too flowery, I suppose, but also not flowery enough, if that makes sense. It's not like any of the words are complicated. They're just over-explaining things, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with this complaint. But, yes, we will take Kleavor's favorite foods to him, but what are those foods exactly? Use our skill in Pokeball crafting to shape Kleavor's beloved food into balls, then throw them to achieve the same calming effect, but from afar. I mean, okay. And are we going to give it like seams so it's like a baseball so it has an even more aerodynamic effect? I don't know. Brilliant idea if I do say so myself. As for what to call these yummy projectiles, how about tea time balls? But this puts one in mind of a nice relaxing afternoon tea, does it not? Are you sure, Professor? They're your own inventions. Why not call them Laventon balls? Oh my, with that name, it sounds like I'm the one being launched at our frenzied friend. In any case, we can rely on the Pearl Clan to gather necessary foodstuffs, correct? You should hurry back to the Grand Tree Arena and tell the Pearl Clan about our brilliant plan. If you're off to the Grand Tree Arena, best set out from the Heights camp, eh? Okay, we will have to do exactly that. But first, I'm going to report to Captain Silene, and I'm actually going to go back to Baggin and try to increase our inventory by 5 more slots. We'll do that on the way out. Investigation for the commander will grind to a halt if you come and pick up a estimated recruit. I would like to avoid that outcome. If you as well. Wait. Oh, so okay. If you progress report, I will judge his worthiness. Thank you. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I'm still allowed to upgrade myself here. You have made progress. It seems you have earned yourself a star. And we are now rank 2. Beautiful. Yeah, I think it's super potions. Oh, feather balls. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, no, that's right. It's only you only get different types of Pokeballs through this method. Pokemon of up to level 30 will also obey your orders reliably in battle. The rewards you earn for your survey reports will be more generous now, too. Have these as well. They are further recipes you'll need for crafting. We get a recipe, I think, for super potions, yes. But we don't actually... Okay, that's what it is. Recipe for crafting super potions from scratch. This is where you use the pep-up plants. A potion and a pep-up plant. Continue to dedicate yourself to completing the Pokedex if you hope to rise higher in the ranks. All right, do I actually have any pep-up plants on hand? No, I think I put those away in my inventory. Well, I'm going to get a few inventory upgrades really quickly here, and I'm actually just going to skip this because it takes a minute. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get a full 5 here, though, so give me just a second. Okay, I was able to get 4 upgrades before I eventually got to the point where I can't afford it anymore. Next upgrade is going to be 3,000 if I want to get it, so we're going to head on out. I actually could sell some Stardusts that are sitting in my inventory if I truly wanted to get that right now, but let's head on out, and I'm actually going to swing by my item box here really quickly. Oh, that's right. I need to talk to this lady here. Show her the completed Starly Pokedex entry. Let's see. Wait one moment. Male and female Starly have different appearances. Let me see. So the markings on their foreheads are different sizes. Incredible. I had no idea. Thank you for letting me read its Pokedex entry. Now that I know more about it, I imagine I might finally bring myself to touch a star. Please don't touch a Starly, ma'am. Like, pet it, but don't... Okay, well, we'll let you look at one. So, let's see. We got one in our pasture over here, so let's give you that. Smooth coat of the feather on its head, those lovely round eyes. Oh, it's lovely through and through. I adore it down to the last feather. Well, hello there, Starly. Do you want to pet it? No! I think I'm quite satisfied just looking at it after all. Besides, it might let loose a move. Who outside of the Survey Corps or Security Corps could actually do something so frightful as approach a Pokemon willingly? All the same, I must thank you for showing me this sweet Starly. Some people will see a Pokemon and simply flee on sight, you know. Perhaps being able to read all about a Pokemon in that Pokedex might put them more at ease. All right, we finally achieved the second request, which that took a minute. But I was kind of just passively doing it. All right, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to actually do a little bit of selling. I'm actually going to grab... Let's grab some Cakelor bases. I'll grab as many as I can, and then get my money back off of these Stardusts. So there we go. I think that's a nice trade-off there. So we have some more requests we can pick up, which we probably actually should before we go any further. I'm not too keen to actually set out in this episode in particular. Let's grab all the pep-up plants that we have, and we can actually upgrade a few of those into Super Potions. Now, Super Potions heal 100 HP, so I think having 6 more of those is going to be more than enough. I think we'll be fine for a while, and then we will just use the rest on regular potions because none of our Pokemon really need that much HP, at least at the moment. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to grab a few requests. I also want to make my way back on over to the training grounds and see if I can learn some moves with what little money I have. Let's talk to Andrew here. All right, if a Pokemon starts eyeing me, I'll fling an Oranberry, then run while it's distracted. If I just stick to the plan, I'll be fine. Oh, Survey Corps go. I was just headed out to the Fieldlands to go gather Tumblestones, but I haven't got as many Oranberries as I'd like. Are you familiar with them? They restore some HP. Pokemon tend to be very interested in them. You see where I'm going with this? Throwing orange berries is a great way to distract and avoid wild Pokemon. They're indispensable. Could I trouble you to gather 5 of them for me? Absolutely. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have more than 5 right now. Here you go. Very simple. Gratefully accept. Gosh, I can't believe you just went to the trouble of finding these just for me. I mean, I didn't, but okay. I'm sure you meant to say happy to help, right? Sure you did, you generous soul. Let's just tuck these away in my satchel. I won't let your kindness go to waste. Wish me luck with those tumblestones. And what do we get as a result? Some revives. Okay, that's really nice. Thank you very much. So I probably should also talk about these feather balls really quickly here. If I go in here into crafting. So feather balls. A ball that flies fast and true. Ideal for catching nimble Pokemon or Pokemon that fly high in the air. Now you need to get a new type of tumblestone, which we have not yet encountered, to be able to actually craft these. Now, feather balls, the thing that makes them interesting, so Pokeballs obviously have the arc to them when you throw them, and then heavy balls have a much shorter arc to them. Can you guess what feather balls do? That's right, they just fly straight ahead, so you have to get used to the different arcs on the Pokeballs. Now, that might sound great and all. It's like, oh, I want to use those and everything. Their catch rate is not the most ideal. I mean, technically, you could just kind of throw them all day, especially if you're trying to catch a bunch of weaker Pokemon. Then feather balls are probably the most ideal because it's so much easier to aim with them. But if you're trying to catch anything difficult, feather balls are absolutely the worst way to go. So let's talk to this guy, Anvin, here. You there, you seem like someone who enjoys a bit of crafting. Do you think you could help me out with something? I'd be very, very grateful if you try to craft something using a special recipe I came up with. And what is that? So without further ado, here's the recipe. What do we got? Pokeshi dolls, okay. 3 logs of wood. I actually think we have that, but they're in the item box. This is the recipe for what I've named Pokeshi dolls. I've invented them, you see, as special items that we could make in this village. I would love to have you craft one and show it to me. I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Okay, we will have to do that. Shouldn't be too hard to do. I'm going to head up here, though, really quickly and talk to you. I think I want to actually check the map. Are there any other requests around here? It actually doesn't look like it. Huh. Well, we won't worry about that then for now. Let's talk to Zissou. Hello there, Surveyor Record Recruit. All right, I want new moves. I'm going to try to grab at least 1 each for Hubert and Viola. Let's see here. I got 4,000 to play with. Ooh, that is actually super tempting. Having a grass-type move on Hubert could be really, really nice. Plus, it's Magical Leaf, which is already a good move in its own right. I think we'll do that. And then as for Viola, who I've already taught Calm Mind to... Ooh, Aerial Ace. Yes, we are definitely going to go with that. I know we could... Magical Leaf is not really going to do a whole lot of good because she's more of a physical attacker. Let's do that. I love it. There you go. Viola's pool of moves has expanded. Beautiful. Is there any more I could teach to... Maybe there's one I could teach to Roddy. Hold on. Let's see here. Or maybe even Darko, actually. That's right. I needed to check with him. Just Rock Smash? That's not the most ideal. I think I'll pass on that for now. For Roddy, however, yeah, it doesn't look like I can get anything additionally. Right, I think we'll just save what money we have for the time being because money is so important. Let me actually equip those moves really quickly before I get ahead of myself here. So we'll get rid of Quick Attack because that actually absolutely has no use on Hubert. I mean, from a tactical sense, it could, but I think I'm going to be getting a lot more mileage out of everything else, if I'm being honest. And then I think we'll actually get rid of Swift, even though that was really useful before. I don't really need it anymore now that Viola is much more of a hard-hitting physical powerhouse, if we can actually look at her stats really quickly. Yeah, I wasn't going to be using Swift anytime soon. All right, so I think that... Is that going to be it? I guess we can set out, but there's not a whole lot we're going to do once we get out there. So we'll just keep going. I want to end this episode right away. I guess actually the last thing I could do in this episode is demonstrate what happens when you release Pokemon. So let's head on over to the pasture. I'm going to release all but one of everything that I can. So let's see. I actually want natures here. So what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do this. We're going to go through and we're going to take a look at each of their natures. So if there's anything bad on them, I am going to mark them with a little circle. Let's see here. Okay, so that one could actually be probably actually pretty good, so we'll keep that. So I'm going to go through and mark all these, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've got all of the Pokemon that I want separated into different boxes, but I didn't realize that having to mass release Pokemon was an upgrade that you needed to get, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of cheating here. I don't know if this is going to work exactly, but I will certainly try. So let me do that. Let me fill up that last box, and maybe it will give us an upgrade, possibly? No, it does not. Okay, well, I thought it was going to. But it looks like I'm going to have to release all of these Pokemon one at a time. So give me a minute. That's going to take a little while. And then once this entire box is clear, we can move on and call this an episode. All right, there we go. So the entire pasture is empty, and I've got all the ones we're keeping on Pasture 8 to be out of the way of all of our newly caught Pokemon on future expeditions. But if we back out, as soon as we do that, this guy's going to approach us. Hey there, Akari. The Pokemon you released just now left a little something behind for you. Take it, won't you? And we received 7 sacks of Grit Gravel, which is the 2nd level, and 7 sacks of Grit Dust. Okay, this is the most efficient way of getting these particular grit items, so I'm actually going to be using these on all 4 of my team members here. I'm going to do that between episodes. We won't worry about that now. We'll worry about it in the next episode. Guys, thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. I will see you all in the next one.